Hello, Matt Watson here from CarWow. So I'm sat on the new Volkswagen Gran California. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it's like to drive. And all the things in the cupboards just rattle away and will end up driving you mad. I'm going to show you around the exterior design.
They're super cool, man. It reminds me of the campers from the 60s and stuff.
And of course, talk you through each and every one of its very clever features, one of which I'm actually testing out right now. Ah, you Now before we get into all that, make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on so you're alerted when we make a new upload. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to continue with this particular upload. Let's kick off this review by talking about the design, because the reason people want VW Californias
It's because they're super cool, man. It reminds me of the campers from the 60s and stuff.
This one though doesn't so much, because it's basically a crafter. Now you can have this tall version or a lower, longer version. Either way though, it just doesn't quite have that surfery vibe. It's more of a motorhome. They have tried to liven it up a bit with a two-tone paint, but that is an option. It's £3,000. In fact, this van itself is very expensive to start with. This Gran California 600 is around £70,000. And for that, look, you can get a one-bedroom flat in Warsaw, which is where I'm from. Lovely place, by the way. There is quite a lot to this van though. Let's take a little quick walk through it. As you can see, it's decked out with a load of add-ons that you wouldn't normally find in a van, and I'll be talking you through all these different bits and pieces and what they do. Some of it's clear, some of it's less clear, but at the front you've got your normal van drivery area, and I will be driving it a bit later. Oh! And a van sliding door, of course, so you can get in and out of it from different points if you'd like to. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically a van that's very, very well kitted out. Now, what I'm going to do is actually show you different configurations that you can put it in depending on what you want to do. And I'm going to start off by turning the interior into a comfy living area. First, I'm going to swing round the front seat, so just pull a lever underneath them and then rotate away like that. Oh. Do the other one, put the arms up first, and then it's just a case of doing the same. Oh. There we go. Now I just unleash the table. Ta-da! Then you just line up this groove with the runner in the side of the van, just tilt it up, and then lower down the leg for support. And now I'm ready for my lunch. Yum! In this cubicle here, we have the entire bathroom, which you caught me using earlier on. Anyway, come and have a look, the layout. So, down here is your little toilet. Look! So to operate it, you first have to prime it. So you press this button here and it fills the bowl with a bit of water. And once you've gone and done your business and use your little toilet roll here. Yeah, don't know why I'm illustrating this, but I feel like I should do. Excuse me. Plop that down there, move that across, and it should let your business go into the septic tank. I think some of it might get stuck, so you might have to bodge it down with something. Gross. Now, if it does get a little bit horrible and messy, then don't worry. You can not only wash your hands with this tap, but the tap is detachable. So it's essentially your shower, and then you just put it up there and try to shower under that. Yeah, that's going to be the best shower you ever had, right? You may as well just wait till it rains and go out in the rain. Anyway, it's better to have that than not at all. At least you have the option. Let me put it away. You have to do everything backwards. You might have noticed that I've got a load of water over the mirror there. But don't worry if it gets steamed up or covered in water. You can actually flip it out and then it's double-sided, so that side should be fine. And then you have all your bathroom cabinet stuff as well up there. Just lock that down into place. And over here you have some places where you can hang up your towels. And to let the steam out after you've had a shower, if it ever gets that hot, you can open this part of the roof as well. Though I don't think that'll do a good enough job to let the smell out if you've been to the toilet, so you might have to light a match or a CarWow stick of truth. However, actually you can get an optional extra for the toilet, which is like a little fan built into the system which will blow the pongy smells away and out of the cabin, which I think would be money well spent at about £250, because otherwise it could get a little bit ripe in here. This is the control panel for all the Gran California's electrical features. So I can operate the inside and the outside lights and the light for the bed upstairs through this. There's something called camping mode, which effectively relays the sound from the stereo to some speakers at the back so you can open the rear doors and then have a party, yeah. Then there's the temperature control, so you can use the heater, you can use the electrical heater, set the different temperature, or you can use gas to heat it if you want to save some electricity, say if you're parked up in a lay-by somewhere with no electrical connection. There's also the air conditioning system as well that you can operate through that. Then there's this water monitoring system, which you can actually see how much fresh water you've got in your tank and how much you've filled up the tank, which receives the wastewater from the plugs and stuff like that. Then there's the battery level monitor, so you can see how much battery you've got left. Then there's various settings, so you can operate things like the time, change the language, set the date. Also, there's a step feature, so you have an electrical step which you can actually retract and extend manually, or you can put it on auto so that when you open and close the door, it'll automatically extend and retract. Then we have some more lighting, but this is for the headlights, so the walk me home lights that you have on most cars. Then we come to the entertainment. So this thing has a mobile phone hotspot, so everyone can connect their mobile devices to it and get online. There's also a satellite system. So on the roof, you've got a satellite dish, and you can then just go and check out various satellite stations such as Sirius. Never used that. Well, I say you can check them out as long as you've bought your own TV, though I'm not entirely sure where you'd put it. In here, we have the all-important gas bottle. Yes, quite easy to connect, and it's held in place by these straps. This door is a bit annoying though, the way it folds down and detaches. Also, it's a bit of a pain to use if you've got this bed load as well. Hopefully you won't need to go into there too often. Come on, shut, shut. Oh, there we go. Yeah, seamless. Once you've got your big gas bottle connected, you can operate your gas cooking hob. So you have two burners, one small one and one even smaller. Things will take a while to cook, as I'll illustrate now with a carwow stick of truth. Poor stick of truth being sacrificed for this review. Gordon Ramsay wouldn't cook on here. By the looks of it, the stick of truth isn't all that flammable. Anyway, you get the general idea. Next to the hob, you have your sink. You pop up the little tap, then you have hot and cold running water depending on which you want, and a plug there if you need to do the washing up. Although I'm not entirely sure how much you can wash up in this little sink. You may as well just use a bunch of baby wipes, to be fair. Now I want to show you some other things. So in here, you have your fridge. Now it's a little bit of a compromise because it's designed to fit into this space. Also, it opens both sides like that, so you can actually get into drinks and stuff from inside or outside if you're having a picnic. There's an extra little shelf in there as well for storing some more stuff. And I like the fact it's got a proper freezer. What's not so cool though is slightly limited cupboard space. So there's a drawer here, which is where you put your cutlery, I guess. This hatch is where you control the gas and the water for the stove and sink. There's some storage here where you can keep food and bits and pieces, but that is pretty much it. There are some extended work surfaces though, so you've got this area here. You can fold this down here. You've got your TV aerial, 12-volt socket, USB ports for charging devices, and a 230-volt are there as well. There's some more worktop area here which you pop out, but it doesn't fold down this way over the sink, which is a bit annoying. You have to do it that way, so you can only do it with the bed down. And that brings me on to making the bed. What I'm going to do first is into that strap. There's another one down this end as well, so I'll just undo that, and it's as simple as going ta-da. He says it was simple. Wasn't quite that simple, was it? To lift this up. Oh, ow! Oh, f it! I caught it on my buttons. I'm sure I'm making this look harder than it needs to be, but got there in the end. Oh, it's quite high. Now, obviously you don't lie this away, you lie that away, but I don't really want to get my dirty feet on the bed. But I'll tell you this, that is actually surprisingly good. Part of the reason is that it's got these special springs rather than wooden slats. These do a good job of just cushioning you slightly. Now there's various things about here which are useful storage, a little area here, USB ports there, loads of wardrobe space. You've even got somewhere up there to hang coat hangers, more storage with some netting. Absolutely lots and lots and lots and lots. So you should be able to fit all your clothes in there. well, what you need for a short holiday anyway. But this isn't the only bed, because this is a 4-berth. You can actually fit another 2 people in it, but you have to go this way to get to it. Oh, and you have to pay an extra £2.5 grand as well because it's optional. So you grab onto this, press the button in, hear a click. This automatically drops down. Pull this forward until it drops into place. Pull this out. It's your little ladders to get up to the top. Somehow fathom how to open them in this small space like that. Yes. And then you fold this down, then head upstairs. Ah, you Lynn! I trod on a spike! Yeah, it's all getting a little bit Alan Partridge, isn't it? But I just bashed my elbow off the door handle for the toilet because everything's so cramped in here. Anyway, let's head up. As you can probably see, there's not much room up here. Really, this bit is just for kids, and you'd probably sleep with your head at that end, but I need to talk to you. Blooming heck, there's very little room to manoeuvre at all. It's claustrophobic, and if you had a fright in the night and woke up, you'll bash your head on the roof. You do have bits of storage here and here. If you want to create a bit more space, look at this, you can fold this down and then open the skylight and actually free up some space. Look, oh, that's much better. If you want to keep the window open and you're worried about mosquitoes, you can just use the fly screen like that, stop the little buggers getting in. Or if it's night time, you can just make it nice and dark. Put that away in there. And if you need a bit of illumination, you have these touch sensitive lights over here so you can see what you're doing. I think that's enough of up here. I need to get down. I think we're just going to jump cut that because it's going to be awkward. Now I want to show you putting the Gran California into picnic mode. So you open up the rear doors and you can actually open them to 180 degrees like that. I won't bother with this one. Then in the doors you can probably notice that there are these chairs. So you just get the chairs out, pop them up like that, one on each side. So there's your chairs. Then all you need is your ow! This is a disaster. It's your table. Being careful not to injure yourself on it. Yeah. Honestly, this is like amateur hour, isn't it? Right, God. And then you put it in place. Inevitably, with the British weather, starts to rain. Well, do not worry too much because this California is fitted with the optional awning. Though it is a £1,000 option. The handle to operate it is here. Just undo it. And then it's just a case of, let's shut the door. Putting that in there, then doing the arduous process of extending it. Actually, I tell you what would be easier if I just extend this, eh? Ooh, yeah. I'm getting a shoulder ache. Brilliant. But I'm not quite done yet because I now need to lower the legs to support the awning like so. Set it to the height you want, then just latch it into place. Do the other one. Like that in place, and then you're done. Unfortunately though, no rest for the wicked, because I've got to show you some other things. Oh. Such as, you do have to have this door shut to be able to open the awning. It's not too much of a problem. And I can now show you this, the window mechanisms. Look, it's held up on gas struts, so you can probably operate this thing as a burger van, make a bit of cash to pay off the huge amount you'll be owing if you buy this thing on finance. Just saying. All the windows in that part of the van have a mosquito blind and a normal sun blind, but if you need to keep the light out in the morning from the normal windows in the front and the windscreen, you have these special blinds you have to fit yourself. It's not too difficult though. They have magnets in them which help attach them to the door frame, so it's just a case of figuring out which way they're going to go and then just putting them into position, and they sort of just hold on. There, that'll do. Annoyingly, the one for the windscreen is actually a little trickier. So you have to pull down the sun visors, attach it over the visor with these straps, and the other side. like that. Then you move it into place. And that's kind of it. I'm sure someone in the comments will go, Matt, you've done it wrong, that's not right. But you get the general idea, and I can't really be asked to do that one, that'll do. Yeah. Oh, there's some other things I need to show you. In here is an auxiliary shower, look at that, yeah. And you plug that in, just in here, and it will do hot water as well. So you can shower outside the van if you're especially filthy. You've got some more storage areas here. No, look. There's a little stool. Hello, I'm taller now. Then there's some more storage in this one. We have a net, which is actually supposed to go up with a top bed to stop you falling out. There's some chocks, so you can level your van if you're on uneven ground. It's okay. Then, of course, there's your neatly packed away main supply. Wasn't me, it was the previous person who borrowed this. And then there's these dividers here. So what you do with these is slot them into this little gap here. Come on. And that means you put all your luggage there, and it's kept safely away from the main passenger compartment should you suddenly need to brake. And right now, I need a quick break. Here inside the front of the Gran California, you've basically got a crafter van. It's spacious, the design's okay, but it's all very utilitarian, which is a bit galling when this thing costs like £70,000. It could feel a little bit more expensive, I guess. It's also a bit annoying that you can't get the Gran California with leather seats like you can other motorhomes, because leather's just easier to wipe clean. These seats are already a bit stained, and this is pretty much brand new. That wasn't me. But everything's very simple to use, all your climate control. The infotainment system is pretty easy to navigate around. The mapping's all right, but it seems to be VW's older system, and the screen definition is a little bit low def, and it's not the most responsive system either. It's easy to get an ideal driving position, lots of adjustment in the steering wheel, and of course you can slide your seat backwards and forwards and recline the seat back, so it's nice to have these armrests as well for when you're doing longer journeys. There's lots of storage area, so big storage area here, huge door bins, look, bottles fit. There's cup holders here, there's special cup holders here on the dash. There's more areas here to leave stuff on the top of the dash, areas here. You've also got a glove box, which is lockable, but I don't think it'd be too hard for a thief to snap that open. Still, you do get it chilled by the air conditioning, so you can keep your drinks cold when you're driving along. Then you've got a 12-volt socket over here, one there. There's also one up there. I've just bashed my knee on that. Not again. Anyway, let's carry on. Come on. Deep breath. Then there's a USB input there and auxiliary input there, which is a bit annoying because it means you have to have your phone up there, where you'd rather have it down here. There's a flat floor, so you can quite easily walk through the cabin if you need to go and get off camera to have a little cry. So then, what's the Volkswagen Gran California like to drive? Well, it's exactly like a Volkswagen crafter van, surprisingly enough. Now, if you don't know what one of those is like, let me explain very briefly. It's relatively easy. Steering's light. Even though it's big, you can negotiate it around town quite well because you've got some big door mirrors. Obviously, you've got a reversing camera on this thing as well. It also comes with automated cruise control, so it takes us straight out of longer journeys. The engine is a 2-litre diesel with 177 horsepower, and it's got a decent amount of performance, and the 8-speed automatic gearbox does a good job of just blending the gears together and making this thing easy to drive. This version of the Gran California is front-wheel drive. You can get the long wheelbase version one with all-wheel drive. When you're cruising along at 70 miles an hour, it's not too noisy. Also economy, it's all right. I'm doing 26 miles per gallon, which, considering the weight of this thing, I will accept. The only thing that is doing my head in though is the fact that whenever you go over like bumps or potholes or just rough surfaces, the whole van shakes and all the things in the cupboards just rattle away and will end up driving you mad. But that is always the case with every single motorhome. Should you encounter some corners, this thing will go round them okay. It will roll a bit and lean because it's a tall vehicle, and if you get too enthusiastic, the traction control kicks in and starts cutting the power to stop you doing anything silly. But it goes round bends as well as you need it to, and as good as any van can. So then, what's my final verdict on the Volkswagen Gran California? Should you avoid it, consider it, shortlist it, or go right ahead and buy it? Me personally, I would avoid it. I would just go on a proper holiday. You see, I've banged bits of my body too much in there that it's just driving me mad. However, if you're after a proper motorhome, you should shortlist it. I mean, it's already better than the normal California by the fact it's got a bathroom, so you can pretty much park it and use it anywhere. And yes, I know it is rather expensive, but when you look at the cost of Volkswagen crafted conversions by third parties and other mobile homes, it's not that much different. Plus you get Volkswagen build quality, customer service and residual values. So quite a compelling package if you're the sort of person that likes to live in a van.